Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be starting the final chapter of Math 10, Chapter 8, Financial Mathematics. Some of the new vocabulary we're going to learn about is unit price, exchange rates, proportions, buying and selling rates, salary, hourly wage, gross pay, overtime, shift premium, deductions, net pay, commission, bonus, piecework, and contract work. The first section we're going to do here today is 8.1. We're going to look at unit pricing, the better buy, and changing prices. Today's focus in the lesson will be calculating unit price, comparing unit prices of two or more items, determining the best buy, analyzing sales techniques, and determining percent changes in prices. The first thing we're going to do here is a unit price, and that is the cost for every unit of an item. So for example, if we're trying to find the unit price, we divide the total cost by the number of units that can be bought for that amount of money. So in the first one, if we have a 4-liter jug of milk that's worth $5.25, if we're looking for the unit price, we're looking for the amount it costs per liter. So we take 5.25 divided by 4, and we get $1.31, or $1.31 per liter. As you can see in the second example, it says this bag of ice melt salt has 5 kilograms of salt and costs $10.99. What is the unit price? Well, the unit price, you would take the $10 total cost, $10.99, divided by 5 kilograms for a total cost of $2.20 per kilogram. Now remember, when you're rounding money, it is automatically rounded to 2 places after the decimal, the hundredths place. Let's take a look at some of the examples we're going to do here today. So in the first example, it says determine the unit price for each of the following. So if we have $7.49 in it for 4 gel pens, what is the unit price? So what they're looking for is what is the cost per gel pen. So we go to our calculator, we take our cost, which is $7.49. We divide it by 4 gel pens, and that equals, go to our calculator, you plug that in, and you get, on your calculator, you get 1.8725. So what we do is 1.87. The 2 leaves a 7 out of 7. Now I know what you're going to say, there's no such thing as pennies anymore. However, if you're paying with credit card or debit, you still pay the $1.87. If not, in this case, it would be, indeed, you're right, $1.85 per gel pen. All right, what do we have next? The next question asks, if we had 5 nights in a hotel and that cost you $899.75, what is the total cost per stay or per night? So we do the same thing. We insert, and we're going to create a ratio of the cost. Total cost is the numerator. We divide that by the denominator, which is 5 nights. We go to our calculator, we punch that in. You could probably do some mental math in your head of roughly what that's going to be. You said around $180 because it's approximately $900. You'll be right. It is $179.87 per night. Remember, you just put the denominator is going to be whatever the item is being purchased, and the dollar amount is in the numerator, and we divide. Okay? Next, 2 large pepperoni pizzas are on sale for $24.99. what is the cost per pizza? And I know some of you got it in your head already. Sir, it's $12.50 a pizza, and you would be correct. But we punch that in the calculator. Okay. So we put in our money, $24.99, the cost, total cost. We divide that by the 2 pizzas for short, and that's going to equal, if you do that in your calculator, you're going to notice that there's 3 places after the decimal. So it's 12.495. The 5 rounds the 9 up to a 0, which rounds the 4 up to a 5. So it is $12.50 per pizza. Okay. Now normally you'll see it written in one line like this. It could be in a denominator if you want as well, but normally you'll see it here like I have in B and C. Either answer's fine though. Alright, the next one says Eva is paid $50 for 3 hours of babysitting. So we're looking for what is she paid per hour. So we put in $50 and we divide that by 3 hours. Sometimes you'll see it short just as H or HR for hours. And a lot of you are saying, well, this is going to be about $17. You'd be right, because 51 divided by 3 would be 17. So it's just like 5/3 the way I look at it. So 1.6, but it's going to be $16. And the 6 repeats, so the 6 rounds the 6 up to a 7, because we have to go to 2 places after the decimal, or the 100th place. So it will be 16.67 cents per hour. So $16.67 per hour. A package of 12 cupcakes costs $5.35. So we're looking for the cost per cupcake. So we put the $5.35 in. We divide that by 12 cupcakes, CC for short. And we get, it's 0.44583 repeated, but we're only interested in the 5/4, so the 5 is going to round the second 4 up to a 5, so it's going to be, it's still $, 0.45 per cupcake. Per cupcake. And that is how you determine unit price. Let's look at what's called the better buy. So the better buy, or the best buy, is usually considered to be an option with the lowest unit price. So note, for this work, you must be in the same unit. So obviously here we have 3 different containers of milk, and we're going to try to determine the unit price. So you'll notice 2 of them are milliliters, so we have to make that conversion. So we have to go back to chapter 1 when we did some of our conversions. Okay? Let's look at the example they have here provided for us. The unit price is, again, so this is the milk question from before, $5.25 for 4 liters. So we calculate that at $1.31 per liter. Now the 500 ml container, we take the 1.05 and we divide it by 500 milliliters. But first we got to switch the 500 milliliters to 0.5 liters. And we do that by moving the decimal place 3 places to the left, or dividing by 100, because 1,000, because there is 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. All right. So then we divide it by 0.5, and we get $2.10 per liter for the smaller milk. Now the smallest container, the 250 milliliters, that's 75 cents. We divide that by 250 milliliters. We convert that to liters, which is 0.25 liters, and we get $3 per liter. Now, normally this will be the case, but sometimes it's not. All right? Something could be on sale, for example. There could be different things happening here that you have to, different variables that you have to consider. So, just be mindful of that. So obviously here, the best buy or the better buy is the 4-liter milk, which is usually the case. The more you buy, the cheaper it usually is. That's called buying something in bulk. Let's take a look at example number 2. Determine which option is the better buy for each of the following. 12 bags of chips at $8.49 or 8 bags of chips at $6.49. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the unit price of both, and the better buy is going to be the amount that is the lower unit price. So we'll divide this by the number of chips in this case. So we take $8.49 divided by 12 bags of chips, right? And we can just, for short, we can just say 12 bags. And that's going to equal 8.49 divided by 12. That would be approximately, and again this is rounding, it's 0.7075. So the 7 rounds the 0 up to a 1. So the cost is 0.71 cents per bag. We do the exact same thing again, only this time with the second option, which is $6.49 for 8 bags. We divide that on our calculator. This comes out to be 0.81125. So 0.8, and it's 11, so it's 0.81 per bag. So the 12 bags of chips at $8.49 is indeed the better buy. Question number B. 500 grams of popcorn for $5.99 or 350 grams of popcorn for $3.79. So you could sometimes, usually what will happen here, they'll put both into per 100 grams. It doesn't make a difference. Right now we'll just do per gram. I think there's an example that we see a little later on for that. Okay. So we write out our amount, $5.99. Oh, $5.99 divided by 500 grams, and that's going to equal 0.01198 per gram. Now here's the issue, because you're dealing with such a small number. This is what I mentioned before. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to put this towards 100 grams. So you want to get a common denominator of 100. So you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 100, because if you rounded this, it's only going to be a penny per gram. And the other one, probably the same thing is going to happen. So you want to make it per 100 grams. You just want to make sure the denominator is the same. So if I do that, if I make the denominator 100, I'm just multiplying by 100. I do the same to the numerator, and that becomes $1 multiplied by 100, and that becomes $1.19, but then the 8, so $1.20 per 100 grams. We'll do the same thing with, now I'm just being lazy to copy the same number, and that's fine. Divided by 350. Alright, so we get 3.79 divided by 350, and we get, like I mentioned before, you'll see it, but you couldn't round in this case, just due to the fact that it would have came out to a penny per gram. So unless you wrote all the numbers out, normally what will happen in something that you're dealing with so small, they'll just multiply both by 100, and you get $1.08. Right? I know you can see it if you round it, if you write it all out, and that's more than okay. So the better buy is, in this case, the smaller amount, which doesn't happen too often, but again, there could be a number of different reasons for that. So that's it for this 15-minute video. When we come back, we'll continue on with example 2b.